Over the years, I've come to understand depression as incredibly complex. There are many different faces to depression, there are many different contributing factors. So I don't want to just say that this one thing is depression. But the particular function that I'm going to talk about in this video, a function that I believe is deeply intelligent and actually serves growth, it serves self-actualization, is when depression as a function signals the need to realign your life in various directions to various degrees. I don't mean this as like a spiritual bypassing or this like romanticized idea of aligning and being in the flow. I mean this really as like a tremendously difficult task, because to realign you have to let go of the past, and to let go of the past you have to feel the grief. You have to feel the pain. You have to notice the areas that you're holding on to, the things that aren't working. And as humans, our imagination, the futures that we hold on to, they're tangible, they feel real. It's not like we can just go, oh, I'll let go of that, I'll just stop thinking about that. We have emotional investment in these imagined futures that are based on the actions that we've done in the past and in the present. So a course correct requires letting go of that, and that's incredibly painful. But the beauty is all the symptoms of misalignment, the depression, the anxiety, the lack of purpose, they have their opposite when aligned, right? And this function of depression can show us the way towards that. And that's not to minimize the struggle, but it is to say that there is a higher level of intelligence to the process of misalignment and alignment. And if we follow this process, if we surrender to depression and try and understand what it's showing us, it's as if we're not having to do it alone, right? We don't have to just do that with our mind, with our thoughts. We can understand that there is a greater intelligence behind the process. And within that, start to learn, like, what does it look like to be aligned? What does that mean? What are the problems that I need solutions for? And this idea of problems and solutions is integral to realignment, because if you're going off track, you have problems, right, that need to be addressed. Let's say that you're working in a job that is no longer meant for you. That might lead to high levels of stress, lack of fulfillment. These are issues that require solutions. The function of depression in this way actually offers a solution, first by showing you what isn't right. When I was going through this spell, I had so many memories resurfacing, so many memories that came with this, eventually at least, came with a quality of a wider perspective. Like I could see where I was investing in things. I could see a lot clearer where I was caught up in this conveyor belt of life and not really reflecting, not seeing the truth of certain experiences. And that required letting go. That required clear seeing. And in the midst of it, it's not like these new ideas, these fresh ideas that lead you towards alignment. It's not like they're there all the time, but the clarity does grow. And I find that a lot of the time, whilst in the void, I'm lacking the creativity, I'm lacking the inspiration. But then out of nowhere, I'll get a slight jolt, I'll get a vision, I'll get something that has a different energy. Like no matter how lethargic I'm feeling or low on energy, right? This vision, this sense, this sentence even will enter my mind, and I'll know this is a solution. This is something that is pointing me towards alignment, and I can feel excited about that as that arrives. Now, these are the steps that are leading you to alignment. These are the steps that are showing you like this is what will be better for you, right? They will land. You will recognize the energy that they contain. It could be that there's fear around that. I know that for me, one example is rebuilding my social circle, and there are steps within that take a lot of courage. But when I was having these inspired ideas of how to do that. I could feel the energy of it. I could feel the excitement. To build towards that will take time, but the core, the seed of the fruition of alignment usually comes through some stage of the depression in this kind of function. Now I'm super fortunate that my spiritual practice, my meditation practice showed me what alignment was and is, and it's given me enough of a contrast to know that whilst misaligned, in whatever way that looks for you, whether it's not honoring a truth, whether it's not living in alignment with your values, whether it's overextending, not letting go, holding on to stuff that is no longer good for you, when misaligned, that's going to translate as anxiety and depression. But when aligned, when doing what's right for you, when having the courage to live aligned with your values, with letting go and inviting in new experiences and new people that are meant for you, then the byproduct of that is almost an opposite of the depression, anxiety. It's a sense of fulfillment, it's a sense of joy, it's a sense of harmony, it's a sense of ease. And to get to there, from there, you have to realign. And that is the painful process. That is the intelligence of depression as a function of realignment. Now, I would be really interested to hear your experience with this, and if you've identified the times when depression does almost show you the way and show you the need to course correct and move in a different direction in life. As I say, this is very complex. I can think of, a few other causes within myself alone that can contribute to the feeling of depression. For example, unresolved grief is a big one. But, ultimately it's understanding what are the different functions to deconstruct this heavy, burdensome label, and to start to understand, how does this factor in as part of a wider intelligence, as part of spiritual awakening. And I do believe that, at least for me, depression as a intelligent function of realignment, aligning with what is good for you, aligning with, dare I say it, your highest potential, being on the track of self-actualization, is something that really has guided me throughout my life. I know I will likely experience this kind of thing again. There are micro adjustments along the way. It's just like riding a bike. You have to constantly micro adjust. The big realignments, they happen from time to time. It's easy to gradually go off track. So I'm sure this will happen again. But each time that it does, I know that I will learn from it. It stays for a much shorter period of time. The expanse between these experiences is greater, and I wish that for you as well. And I really do hope that there's some value in these thoughts. And I would love to hear from you and hear if this idea of depression as a function of realignment resonates with you.